you guys are doing good. I hope you had a good night. We're going to get started here in about 1 minute. Just give you guys a little bit longer to join in. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Why do they call it hump day? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. It is the 8th of September 2021. It's 8:03 Central Time here in Florida. We have the ES futures in front of us. As I said, I just want to go over my notes for this morning for everybody. So I'm going to read these out loud just in case you didn't have time to come into the trendy updates. I'm going to read that out loud to you. Good morning. Overall, the market feels choppy. The overnight action pushed the SPY into T1. All right, T1 to the downside. And if you remember on the broad market analysis, we specifically said if price could not get over 454, don't look to get long on this. So this saved you from wanting to get long, right? To the downside, we specifically talked about if price were to come into these levels because the banners were green, we're looking at buying the dip, as buying the dip has proved to be the better strategy in this market instead of trying to buy the breakout. Although the market is super bullish, the breakout for the most part has been a little bit more difficult for traders to do. So we're just finding that these lower levels are easier. Now, I want you to take a look at all four of these, okay? So one thing you're going to notice is that three of them, okay, the DIA, the IWM, and the SPY are all underneath the cloud. When price is underneath the cloud, we look for it to be resistance and choppy, and it's just not that fun to trade. On a short week, this is what we were forecasting, right? It's not going to be easy. They kill the premium. Pay attention to the implied volatility percentage on your options that you're interested in. And I want you to take into consideration it's a short week and most things have dropped underneath a 4-hour cloud. The key that we want to see this morning is that the bulls can make a new pivot high. What does that mean? Well, if you're new to trading, it's pretty easy to just visually look and say, well, what pivots really stand out to me? You're going to take current price, and then I want you to look up and left and look for a pivot that really stands out. So like here, okay, and then you would have one up here. So just draw a line across that. All right, and wherever that price is, for me, this is the bottom, this is the pivot, and as long as price is driving between these two, just like yesterday, this is a choppy market. I'm not interested in doing anything, okay? Specifically on the SPY, okay? But if we can get over that pivot, then I believe that bulls are now showing us their hand and they want to push it up towards 454 again. Okay, so continue reading here. One subtle hint will be that bulls are regaining traction when that new pivot high is built. It's okay to buy the dip under such levels, but I prefer smaller allocation until I see we can break through these levels and then I can add. That is a certain process and strategy that I use when we're underneath the cloud. It just will save me money in the long run. And if for some reason I am stopped out, it's okay. I didn't go full on, beast mode here, right? It just doesn't make sense. Now, moving over to the Qs, and let me go back. So SPY, it's neutral. The support is 450.25 and resistance is 452.60. Let's move on to the QQQ. Qs are a little bit different. They're trying to hold the cloud. And if you look close, you can see that. This is the QQQ. It's barely holding on. This yellow line right here is the trendy edge. So it's just kind of bumped up against the trendy edge, and we need to see that price can get over that. Okay. For right now, QQQ is neutral. You can see that price is in the neutral, and support is 378.41. 378.41. So way down here, I'm looking at the bottom of the neutral, and our resistance for right now is the top of the neutral. This is my trigger to go long up here, or at least try it. Because it is Wednesday and it's a short week, I'm not putting my stop underneath 378.41. Okay. Matter of fact, if we could break out above 382.83, my stop's going to go underneath the Trendy edge at around 381.85. Okay. Let's move on to the DIA. This one is bearish. This hit T3 to the downside, and if you watched the broad market analysis this week, members, then you know taking this strategy. If you wanted to get short on this, then obviously you would have hit T1, T2, and then T3. And as you can see, T3 is holding up so far. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. I love the trendy edges. Everybody knows that. And anytime price starts to move up and away from the trendy edge without touching it, I always have this yellow flag in the back of my head that says we're coming back to touch this. That's just how these levels work. But I'm going to give you some levels in case for some odd reason that probabilities are not in my favor and we do break out and make that new pivot, then things could change. But for now, DIA is bearish. It hit T3 to the downside. The support is 349.93 support, and resistance is 352.50. When I give you these resistance and support levels, this is my expected range within these names. IWM, right over here on your right hand side, bearish. It hit T1 to the downside. It found support at the trendy edges and the target, so we have a lot of confluence there. Support is 225.14. Resistance 227.20. Let's go ahead and move on. My plan, manage and have fun as always. My overall allocation is on the smaller side right now as the market tries to find its footing. I continue to lean harder towards names like Myrna and PFE. Let's go over here and take a look and see what these guys got going on this morning. So far we're flat. Okay, this was our trade plan from yesterday, and look at this amazing move. Now I rolled twice here and I made close to 50% on both of those trades. Those were very nice trades, and we hit our target to the tick. When price targets are to the upside, we expect them to be resistance until they're not. Let's see, server mute. All right, George, I muted you. All right, so again, resistance here. If Myrna can get above 438.5 or this 49, you don't have to be too particular. I want to see that we can make a new pivot high over this pre-market high. Okay, that's important, just like I was showing you guys earlier. So I'm going to put an alert here just to kind of let me know that we're getting above. And I probably want to wait about 30 minutes. I said this yesterday. I said it last week. Myrna and PFE have this tendency to not show you its hand until later on in the session. So yesterday when we took the trade, I wasn't concerned at all. It's just been doing this over and over. And then we get this huge igniter bar, and then boom. You know, everybody's like, oh, I should have been in Myrna. But we set you up with a support buy zone. It came into that support buy zone. That's where I bought. And then you could see, look at that beautiful move. Now, how are we going to do that for this morning? Okay. What I'm going to do right here is take this igniter bar or chaotic candle, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do something like this, and I'm going to simply bring this box up. Actually, I'm just going to delete it really quick. And I'm going to bring this right up to the high. And I'm going to bring it down to the 38.2. I want you to notice that the 9 EMA is confluent with the 38.2 there. Pretty cool. All right. So this is our new plan. We're going to bring this up just like that. Just come underneath a little bit. I'm going to bring this up and rinse and repeat, folks. Okay. Rinse and repeat. Let me just go over this really quick so everybody understands. I'm okay if price keeps dropping. I could care less. Okay. So if it keeps dropping through my support, I don't really care. What I want to do is say, if it does break this, I'm more interested when we get back in the zone. The problem is a lot of traders get hung up and they just like, oh, it's in my level, it's at my level, I want to take the trade. Instead, what you should be doing is not abandoning your process, but making sure that you set an alert to come back. So let me show you. If for some reason we break down like this, I want you to come back and set an alert here for at or above. And if price gets back at or above, then I'm interested because again, that morning session whipped out a lot of people and then I want to be getting in. Okay. Another area of interest, if this breaks down underneath the 9, is at the inception of this move. I would expect buyers to come in at around 410 by 412 if this area breaks with some sort of force. Okay? Everybody clear on that? Laker fan, I'm going to mute you, just server mute you, just to let you know. All right. And I do that, guys, just so in case you don't know and you're on the phone with somebody or, hanging out with the dog or the spouse is talking to you, something like that. Don't want everybody to hear your business. And over here on the weekly, this is what is attracting me to Myrna from a bigger standpoint, guys. This is a beautiful inside consolidation with a follow up with an up candle. All right, you supply and demand traders know what I'm talking about. We're forecasting that this thing could push up towards this 480 level and potentially even into the highs at around 500 bucks. Now, timing is the variable. The weekly ATR is 42. So it could stall here for a little bit. And it's okay if it wants to do that. But my projection out of this inside and up is up towards $500. And then we start to look at Fibonacci extensions, which I'll give the room here. If we get there, then obviously I will give you some great targets to the upside. Okay? So that is Myrna. And again, I'm really leaning hard towards Myrna and PFE because they've been so good to us. But these are obviously not my only plans. Now notice that price of PFE came into my target at 47.45 and then it broke down. Once again, I can't make this up. I put this here for you weeks in advance. So what do you do now? Well, the weekly candle is showing us that it wants to be inside this guy right here. And as long as it stays inside, then my projection for Friday's close is that price is at least going to close underneath about 46.85. Okay? Under 46.85. That's just how it is. All right? So, if that's what I think it's going to be, but I think we start to move up from here, I will not buy PFE until Friday, and then I'll be looking for that attempt back towards 47.50. We'll update you closer towards the end of the day on Friday. Let's go ahead and take a look at BBIG. I sent this out last night on social media. And yeah, it's moving a little bit here. It's at $11.35, something like that. Again, I don't want to put too much emphasis on this because I gave a really nice detailed video last night. But basically, I missed my buy this morning. It was down here. I missed it by a fraction, unfortunately. And that's okay. Price is pushing up here now. What I need to do is figure out, again, I'm going to buy above 11.88, pull those stops up really tight, and then look for 13.27 and 15. If for some reason we start to dig back down, towards this level, towards 995, then again, I'll be looking to buy there, okay? And if you want to see more details, you can go out to Twitter and you can check out that live feed that I had last night, all right? All right, very important for our future traders and for myself, ES Futures, I specifically said that we'd be looking for the trendy edge last night. We did come into the trendy edge. As you can see, we made lower highs and lower lows. The obvious path was down here towards the trendy edge. Let me go ahead and show you. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this drawing set off so you can see a little bit more clear. There you go. So this is considered lower on the curve and this is considered high on the curve. I expect buyers to come in lower on the curve on the reclaim. I'm not buying the flush. If you buy this flush, you're going to end up getting stopped out of fear. So I like the reclaim. The reclaim ended up pushing 45.06 into about 45.20. So not a bad win at all. Now, what do we have in store for us? Just like the SPY. Remember, the ES moves about 10 points for every dollar in the SPY. Okay? If you don't know anything about futures, come check us out. You're leveraging 500 shares of the SPY when you're buying ES. It's at a discounted price. That's why people like the futures. Okay? They're still expensive on Thinkorswim, but the leverage is what attracts traders. Okay? Also, being able to hedge at night when other people are not able to. All right. So here we are. We're underneath the cloud. I expect resistance. This is my driver for the entire market. If we can't get buyers to come in here and start showing higher pivots above about 45.28, then I'm just not interested in pressing on the gas. But if I do decide to buy and go long, even though this is underneath the cloud, I just want to remind everybody my allocation is smaller than normal. Okay? Please understand that. Everybody understand that? You guys good? And we have about, let's see, 12 more minutes, so I'd say about 10. Would you guys like me to go over any other charts? As far as focus trades, I will show you those really quick. Tesla, our prediction was, I hate saying prediction. I backed that up. Can we cut that out? Our forecast was 763.08, guys. I can't make this up. You hit your target. Congratulations. This is a huge level. This is the 618, okay? The golden Fibonacci. This should be like tattooed, somewhere on my body. This thing is so important. What it means is that when you measure a range from high to low, and so we've been in this down range, but we're pushing up in the down range on Tesla. What this means is if the 618 can crack, okay, then that means we are no longer in that down range. And that's a lot of people don't understand that. You need to write it down. So once we break that, we're back. We're resuming that uptrend, guys. My target 781 to 815 if we can make higher highs. Wait 30 minutes to an hour because Tesla has a tendency to just whip you out. For me, I'm already in this trade. We bought with time. I bought out of the money. It's pretty flat. It's not that big of a deal for me. It's been a fun ride. But if you're buying at the money or in the money, it's not been that easy unless you bought yesterday. Okay. So that's Tesla. Yeah, no problem. I will take a look at that. Let's look at AFRM. I believe Mike brought this up in the room several weeks ago. And really, at the end of the day, it's still in the bearish channel from the pullback. Okay. Your key level, it needs to stay above $70.12. I take that back. Sorry. We are at the 50, which is the chop. Okay, everybody knows that. The 50 is like if you were to meet someone halfway, especially when you're talking about opinions, too many people, right, have their own opinion and you're going to battle it out at the 50. And whoever is stronger will win this match. So right here at the 50, it's bulls against bears. Those who have the most money will win this. You need to get above last week's previous high. So far, this candle doesn't look that great. If it takes out last week's low, it could be headed back to 84.76. Okay? Starts to look a lot better above 96.58. And give me 1 second here. So we went over Tesla, triple D, baby. I want to look at triple D. This is on the list for today. I like this chart. I like it a lot. All right, it had this huge move, several weeks back, and that one was a beauty. And now we're just kind of rounding out. We're back above the cloud, and we're making our way up towards the trendy edge of about 38.50. I have a trend line on here, but my trigger is about 33.11. If 33.11 can break, then I do like this for a swing trade up towards 35, then 38. Now, if I decide to take equity on it today, I might start here and then add above 33.11. Again, I'm going to see how the market opens up, and then I'll get started. All right. That's triple D. Let's go ahead and look at Apple really quick. All right, so Apple's cracking 157. All right, I already gave you guys this chart in the room. It looks a lot like yesterday. We did well. We took equity. We took options. Both of them worked out well. And you can see right here, same thing's happening. Okay. So far as today is concerned, I want to see 156.5 by 155.80 hold. And as long as this holds and the 9 EMA keeps the trend going, we could see 158.08, 158.84, and obviously a lot of traders are going to be gunning for that 160. Okay? All right, and then we have a request to look at Chewy really quick. And just to finish up, so we have PayPal, Tesla, DDD, and Apple on our focus for this morning. All right, here's Chewy. Now, during any sort of big pullback, I want you guys to go to the monthly first. And then everything I taught you, I want you to be looking at the monthly. Okay? Now, the inside and up came in or around this level here at 65. This was a great place to buy for a swing. And now price is headed back towards this. We're in the cloud on the monthly. That's not a good thing long term, folks. Long term, we're in the cloud. That's not good. Now, once we get back above the cloud, things start to look better. What your focus should be on Chewy is whether or not, if you're a bull, you don't want to take out this low. Okay. Matter of fact, you probably only want to come in about 618% of that. So we're going to take that low and we're going to go up to this pivot high. And boom, there we are, right around the 618. So that measured range, guess what? We just broke that up range, Omer. So we're now below that 76.80, man. As long as we stay under 76.80, I see 71.87 and 67.72. Okay? Which is really shocking to me that they're pulling back as much as they are, by the way. I'm pretty surprised. But look at these banners, guys. Not very pretty, that's for sure. All right, oil futures. Nice little move here off the neutral. Oh, somebody's at our front door. Okay, we're moving above, and so things are looking pretty good. And 69.60 was my target. Matter of fact, it just hit there. So this was our neutral. This is where you're looking to go long. It's been a nice push, so about $1,500 on a contract here. And if we continue to move up, I'd expect price to push up towards 70.22. All right. So that's a move that I'm looking for in oil. I'd expect it to kind of die out right around that area. So if you're in oil, congratulations off of that trade plan. And let's go ahead and move on. So Apple, all those guys are going to be on my focus list. And obviously the trades that I'm already holding, I'll be checking those out as well. Managing, have fun today. Think about allocation. Think about your shopping cart. When a lot of times you get ahead of yourself and you look and you're like, oh man, I have 7 or 8 trades. Add those trades up. If an event or a catalyst were to come out where you would be stuck, are you going to be comfortable? Are you going to freeze up like deer in the headlights? Or, how are you going to react? And really, at the end of the day, I think it's all about allocation and the right mindset. If you're in the right mindset and you're at peace with what you're holding, trading becomes a lot easier. It's when you're over allocated and you can't sleep at night and all you're wishing and hoping, you're just putting too much money into it. Plain and simple. Okay. All right, guys. So we'll see you soon. We'll start here in a few minutes. I really appreciate all of you. Let's have a great day. Good luck to everybody. And let's have a great day like yesterday.